Welcome back to Midday Kentucky, everyone, and of course it is all about Australia Day today. And I found out this fantastic guy, Dan James, from Double Dan James, Double Dan I should say, lives here in Lexington. How are you, buddy?
Good, mate, good. Thanks for having us.
I was saying when I first called him on the phone the other day, I said, do you know how long it's been since I've heard a real Aussie accent?
Especially here in Lexington, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, why are your accents so different? Do you believe that he's really from Australia?
Yeah, you can still pick the Aussie accent there out of Troy, definitely. But a lot of it, I think, like over here, you find, you know, different states or places, you know, the accent kind of varies.
Yeah.
Different dialects.
All right, we want to talk about why you're here in Lexington and what it is that you do here. Why Lexington? How did you end up here in Kentucky?
Well, I mean, it's the horse capital of the world.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to be involved in the horse industry, I mean, what better place to pick? I mean, there's, you know, of all the places across the globe that have travelled, there is nowhere else in the world that represents a horse better than Lexington, Kentucky.
So what is it that you actually do?
That's a good question. There's a few different parts to our equestrian business. We teach a lot of people and horses, so you've got the educational aspect of it. One of the first events that we ever did here in Lexington was the World Equestrian Games in 2010, and we were involved in the opening ceremony to where that we presented, you know, horses that, you know, got 1 foot on each back, standing up, going around the arena, Roman riding. So there's the entertainment part of it. Last October, the other part that we do is that we provide horses for some film, fashion type stuff. There was a company called starts with V, Versace.
Yep.
We did a photo shoot with them down in Bloomingfield, Kentucky. So that's another part of what we do.
And he's opened up an institute here. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we've started a program. We've got a small farm just outside of Midway,
Yeah.
and it's going to be it's obviously through our horsemanship company, Double Dan Horsemanship, but it'll be kind of specialising in the equestrian school of arts. So anything from trick riding to liberty horses to general horsemanship, and we're going to be offering that program that'll start in March 2018.
Fantastic.
And where did your love for horses come from? When did that start? When you were a child?
Yeah, I mean, Mum and Dad, they had working horses for the, you know, what would refer to as ranches over here would be a cattle property or cattle station back home. And with that, you know, they never competed a day in their lives, but we were around horses from a very early age. So we had that opportunity, and it was probably, there was one particular pony that came along that I kind of guess I fell in love with, and here we are.
And amazing, you're from Queensland, which is a state of Australia, everyone. I think we have 5 states. Is that right? How many do we have?
Well, we got the ACT.
I don't believe you're from Australia.
Is that bad or what? That's very Australian of me, actually, not to know.
Yeah, that is a little bit, yeah.
How do you find living here from Australia? What do you miss about Australia, but what do you love about America?
Mate, the thing that gets me every time here is this bloody cold weather. That's the thing that I can't stand. Like it, you know, I realised very quickly there was only a fair weather horseman moving to the States. That part sucks. There's no other way around it. Probably the biggest thing that I miss from back home are the beaches.
Like, really?
I don't think there's any beaches in the world like there are in Australia.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, talk to us about what you're going to be showing us later in the show. Some sort of whip cracking, I guess, that's really cool. You're going to go outside and get Troy going. What is that?
Yeah, hopefully we'll keep his ears intact and pieces like that. The whip cracking, it's a very traditional Australian thing. Often it's referred to over here as a bullwhip. The difference between a bullwhip and an Australian stock whip is the length in the handle. Over here the bullwhip is typically, it's sort of plaited or weaved into the entire deal. The Australian stock whip, it has a longer handle on it.
Yeah, well, we're going to get more into that later on in the show. If you want to find out, stick around, everyone. It's going to be absolutely crazy. There's some information about Double Dan, and we're going to be coming out to your venue soon and do this whole show out there. I love the idea. Well, coming